In the romantic setting of the birthday party, no one expected that Jack had secretly prepared something special that made everyone burst into emotion. Amidst the flickering candlelight and the bustling applause, he suddenly knelt down to propose to Chien in front of everyone. That moment made her unable to hold back her tears. Let's watch that sacred and touching moment again in today's video. Early in the morning, the gentle sunlight filtered through the window, covering Jack's office with a warm layer of light. He sat quietly at the table, his face pensive but his eyes shining with an indescribable emotion. Slowly, Jack opened the desk drawer, where he had kept a special item for many weeks. A tiny red velvet box appeared, and when he opened the lid, the engagement ring sparkled in the morning light. He looked at it for a long time, then whispered as if talking to his own heart, "Today will definitely be a day that she will never forget." After carefully putting the ring back, Jack stood up and walked out of the office. He went straight to the living room, where his mother was sitting arranging flowers and preparing some decorations. "Mom, I think we'll have a small party tonight. Cozy and simple, but at the end I'll propose to Chien. Please help me keep it a secret." The mother smiled, her eyes looking at her son affectionately. Nodding in agreement, "I will prepare it carefully. Chien will be very happy." After discussing, Jack slowly walked into the kitchen. A familiar aroma spread through the air. A steaming bowl of pho that Chien had cooked since early morning was waiting for him on the table. He sat down, picked up each chopstick, sipped each spoonful of the rich broth. In his heart, a feeling of warmth and excitement crept in, between the sweetness of the dish and the sincere feelings contained in every small detail. Jack felt more clearly than ever. Today would be an important day in his and her life. As soon as Chien arrived at the farm, the morning sunlight gently covered the spacious and peaceful yard. She stepped inside and called out loudly, "Dad, are you home?" But heard no response. The house was quiet, only the chirping of birds outside and a few lazy kittens lying in the sun on the bamboo mat on the porch. She smiled slightly, sat down and petted the cats that were rubbing their heads against her. A moment later, seeing that the sky was completely bright, Chien stood up, neatly brushed her hair and went straight to the garden. In the middle of the cool garden covered with banana trees, she noticed a bunch of bananas that were plump and round, the green skin turning yellow, signaling that they were about to ripen. She immediately took the sharp knife hanging on the wooden fence, gently chopped down the bunch of bananas, then carried them home with her steady and practiced hands. As soon as she arrived at the front door, Chien saw her ex-father-in-law slowly walking in from the forest. Carrying a heavy bamboo basket on his shoulder, she quickly asked, "Where have you been that you've just come back so late?" He smiled and sighed lightly. "Dad took advantage of his free time this morning to go into the forest to pick some bamboo shoots. Luckily, there were some wild snails in the stream, so I picked up some to bring back. There were a lot, my child. I couldn't finish them all at home. If it's convenient for you to go to the market, bring some with you to sell for me." Chien nodded. Without saying anything more, she immediately rolled up her sleeves and started arranging. She washed the bamboo shoots and snails, divided them neatly, and put them in her familiar bamboo basket. Before leaving, she took some more vegetables from the garden and a few young bananas to bring with her. On the way to the market, her figure was gentle but full of vitality, the bamboo basket full of goods on her shoulder, her neat ba, her eyes sparkling in the early morning sunlight, and a simple peace in her heart. In the morning, the bustling countryside market, the sound of vendors calling out to sell goods, the smell of breakfast, the smell of fresh vegetables and the smell of sunlight blend together to create a familiar yet warm atmosphere. Chien chose a small corner near the market gate, neatly displaying bamboo shoots and wild snails on a clean mat. She sat and folded the banana leaves that wrapped the goods, working while watching the people passing by with a calm, gentle gaze. Just a moment later, the first customer arrived. A woman selling vermicelli soup asked to buy almost all the bamboo shoots. While choosing and praising, "The young bamboo shoots look so fresh. They must be very sweet when boiled." Chien politely greeted and weighed the bamboo shoots, followed by a middle-aged man who went to the market early. Saw the wild snails and excitedly bought a whole basket, saying that he would bring them home to make lemongrass and chili stir-fried snails for the whole family. People passing by all praised the young woman selling the goods for being cute and honest. In no time, everything she brought was sold out, leaving only a few small bundles of vegetables that she gave to the old lady selling salt next to her. After packing her things, she put the basket on her shoulder and leisurely walked out of the market. Her heart light. On the way home, passing the turn to the national highway, she unexpectedly met Jack's mother and Uncle Dong, a longtime close friend of Jack's family, waiting for the bus to the city. Jack's mother happily waved and called out, Tien, what a coincidence. Where are you going? Yes, I just sold some bamboo shoots and snails at the market. I'm on my way home. Then come with me and Uncle Dong to the city. I plan to buy some clothes. And I'll pick out a few new ones for you. Chien hesitated for a moment, intending to refuse because she didn't want to bother her. But Jack's mother smiled gently, holding her hand and whispering, It's okay to go out for a bit. My child, you're always worried about others. Let me take care of you for once today. Unable to bear to refuse, she nodded and followed. At the clothing store, Jack's mother enthusiastically chose one outfit after another, from gentle floral dresses to simple shirts, constantly asking, Is this outfit okay? Child, this one suits your figure very well. Chien smiled lightly, saying that she only needed a simple outfit to wear to work. Meanwhile, Uncle Dong also couldn't sit still. He walked around the store and chose a few elegant dresses for Jack's mother, making her both confused and happy. The gentle, warm atmosphere, mixed with laughter and sincere concern, made that trip with Chien not just a shopping trip, but also a beautiful memory she would remember forever. While Tien was shopping with Jack's mother and Uncle Dong in the city. At home, Jack was also busy preparing for a very special evening, a surprise birthday party for her. The fading afternoon sunlight filtered through the kitchen window, shining on Jack's handsome but sweaty face. His hands quickly washed vegetables, cut carrots into flowers, stir-fried this dish, seasoned that dish with all the meticulousness and dedication rarely seen in a man who was a busy CEO. He did not call a maid, nor did he ask his mother to prepare, because this time he wanted to do everything himself. Tien's favorite dishes, from spring rolls, steamed chicken with lemon leaves to grapefruit dessert, were all carefully cooked by him. Every time he remembered the moment she would walk in, surprised to see the whole house filled with candlelight and the familiar aroma of food. Jack smiled to himself, like a boy excited about confessing his love to the person he loved for the first time. After more than 2 busy hours, the kitchen was tidy again. A cozy meal was prepared on the wooden table in the middle of the living room. Jack looked at his watch, then hurriedly went upstairs to change into a white shirt and black trousers, the outfit he knew Tien had once complimented him on. Looking like someone else's husband. His hair was neatly combed. His face was covered in sweat, but his eyes were filled with joy. He took the key, left the house on his motorbike, and drove to the birthday cake shop he had booked in advance. It was a chocolate cake covered in strawberries, the kind of cake Tien had accidentally spilled last year. And the two of them laughed all evening. On the cake, he asked to write, Happy birthday. My favorite person, Bringing the cake home, Jack carefully placed it in the middle of the table, lit a few small candles around it, and then checked everything one last time. When everything was ready, he gently turned off the lights, closed the door, and let the house sink into warm darkness, ready to welcome the girl in with all the surprise, emotion, and love in Jack's heart. This small party was not just a birthday, but also an opportunity for him to express all his most sincere feelings for her. When Tien just entered the house, she paused a bit in surprise. The familiar house was dark and strangely quiet today. Only the sound of insects in the yard could be heard. She softly called out, Jack? Mom? But no one answered. At that moment, from behind the living room curtain, a gentle light suddenly flashed. Jack appeared. In his hand was a birthday cake shimmering with candlelight. His face was radiant and his eyes were full of love. As he walked forward, he gently sang a happy birthday song in his familiar warm voice. Tien stood still, her heart beating fast, her eyes filled with tears of emotion. At that moment, the space seemed to be reserved for only the two of them, the small, warm room, the flickering candles, the lingering aroma of Jack's cooking, all creating a romantic and sacred scene. When Jack placed the cake on the table and invited her to blow out the candles, they both clasped their hands, closed their eyes, as if keeping a common wish in their hearts. After the last candle went out, Jack suddenly pulled out a small red velvet box from his pocket. Then slowly knelt down in front of her. He looked deeply into Tien's eyes, his voice trembling slightly but full of certainty. I don't promise to give you the best, but I promise to protect and take care of you for the rest of my life. Will you be my wife? Tien? Tien burst into tears, tears of happiness rolling down her cheeks. She couldn't say anything, just nodded slightly, then took the ring from Jack's hand, tremblingly putting it on his hand as a way to respond to that sincere feeling. I thank you, thank your whole family too, for always loving me, accepting me, and being by my side even when I was at my weakest. Jack's mother had tears in her eyes, while Uncle Dong smiled and nodded. The whole family sat together around the warm meal that Jack had prepared himself. Laughter and congratulations echoed through the soft yellow lights, ending an unforgettable birthday filled with love and happiness.